Alrighty, good evening everybody. Welcome to this evening's stream. Let me transition the screen over here. Welcome back to OpenTTD. Welcome to a hopefully buffer-free stream. And I know I'm already tempting fate by saying that. But I will do my utmost to make sure that it doesn't buffer and doesn't lag and all that good stuff. We've also started a little bit early tonight. I'm getting in ahead of you guys before you ask, why did you start early tonight? Basically, I've been sat at my desk for the last 45 minutes reading stuff and watching videos and basically just ticking down the minutes until the start of the stream. So I thought, what's the point in sitting here waiting? You guys are sitting waiting, I'm sitting waiting. Let's just start the stream and see what happens. So we are here tonight. We are on the M4J network. We are going to be building the new East Coast route from here, Gronnwell Superion, which is this station up here in the top right corner of the map. Why is it that size? That's really weird. No trains currently call here. That will change in the very, 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 very short future. We've got the high-speed platforms here as well. There's, what, 5 high-speed platforms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 3 conventional, 2 railjet. Railjet will be returning, by the way, at some point in the future. Not yet, but it will be coming back soon. Because it kind of, in real life, I think the railjet was built in 2004. So when the network transitioned into more modern times, then we'll introduce it. But because it was already here, you know, we'll leave it for now. It's stupid to remove it and then rebuild it. We might as well just keep all the infrastructure in place. Then we've got the fast platforms. So there's 5 of those. I can't count. And then we've got the local commuter style-ish platforms for North Rail, so Northeast Rail this will be, and also for East Coast Rail, whatever we decide to call that franchise. Roll call. Who is here in the chat tonight? Because I've got some really cool stuff to talk about as well whilst I'm streaming. Who's here? Feel free to say hi. It's always nice to see who's here when I'm streaming. I'm on YouTube and Twitch again tonight, so if you're watching on Twitch, feel free to join in the chat. You will see the conversation will appear in the bottom right corner in that window. I still haven't been bothered to find a way to customize that window, but I'm looking at options. Alright, let's get the news out of the way while I'm waiting for people to join. I say I know I've started a bit early tonight, and some people might not realise that yet. There might be jarring is the word I seem to be using a lot at the moment. It might be a bit jarring to see that I've suddenly started streaming way earlier than usual. So yeah, news. Very good news. So last Thursday in fact, when I streamed, I ended the stream by saying the M4J store will be launching the next day on Friday, and indeed it did. The M4J store launched officially on the XVI website Friday afternoon/evening. There's 6 items on there at the moment, and they're all basically M4J branded stuff. There's nothing too specific. The only real specific one is the M4J Racing series, which I think that design might be getting changed soon anyway, because to be honest, it's not the best design in the world, but I still like it. And in fact, I will be buying one of those original ones, because you never know, they might become a rare thing one day. One thing that was distinctly lacking in the store was M4J network stuff. However, over the last few days I have been toiling to try and find a way to actually get that into the store, and I think I've come up with a solution. So currently it took me 3 days to get a screenshot of the map, which sounds ridiculous, but trust me, that's how long it took. I do have now a screenshot of the map. Let me see if I can very quickly show you guys. What do we have? Let's just do new image. Yeah, we'll just call it that. And let me see if I can find it. There it is. So, transform, fit to screen. There we go. I'll remove these things. So if I transition this over quickly, this is the screenshot of the network. And as you can see, it's a little bit I don't know. It's not the best. Let's put it that way. It's not the best. There are certain aspects of it that I would perhaps change. But what I am going to do, I will find a way to get this map onto a shirt and a hoodie and things like that. So you can buy this version if you want. This is as up to date as last week's stream. So all the lines that we built last week, I don't know why I'm moving the cursor as if you can see it, because I know you can't. But if you sort of look from the top right corner, which is where we are now, if you follow that track down, and where that extra line branches off to the south, if you follow that down, you'll see a load of lines off to the right hand side of that. Those are the lines we built last week. So the little connections between Wantford, Brandingley Market. I'm trying to remember the names now. Keep forgetting. But yeah, they're all there. They're all on the map. They all look very lovely. And you can obviously see where Guard City is. It's the massive, massive metropolis up near the top left corner. So what I will do is I'll make a tube map style map of the network, where I won't have like GSP, GSG, GSJ. I'll just have Guard City as a blob, and then all the different coloured lines coming out of it. So all the major cities on the network will have blobs. So like Bar City, which you can't really see on this map. I think I know where it is. And again, if you follow that line on the right hand side, you just follow it down, and when it goes into like a square shape, I think that's Bar City there. So there's that. So that will have its own blob as well, and then we'll have things like Denstone and Drentbourne, Drunnington and Tenfing Bridge. Actually, that's up here. What's the Tarn Bridge? Whatever the interchange is on the route between Guard City and Bar City. Again, I know this stuff. I just can't recall it when I need to. Honest. But yeah, I'll make like a tube map version of the M4J network, and that will go up on a shirt and a hoodie and stuff as well. And I think that's the one that will be more popular, in all honesty. I think that's the one that basically people have been waiting for, is an actual M4J network map. Anyway, again, while I wait for people to join the stream, because it's starting time around about now, actually, is where I normally start. So again, I'll do another quick roll call. Is anyone here in the chat at the moment? Feel free to say hi. And we'll get started. So yes, tonight we are going to build from Gronnwell down the east coast. We'll somehow get around the high-speed line here. I might even extend that curve a little bit more, actually, just to make it look a little bit nicer. And then we'll go around all the route that we've got here, and our first big interchange station, which is here at Great Slunnington. Now, originally when I wrote the synopsis, is that even the right word? When I wrote the bio, like the description of what tonight's stream was going to be, I did mention that we'd be building to our first major interchange, and then we'll be connecting it up. What I didn't realise was the first major interchange was connecting it up, because I didn't think it was Great Slunnington. I thought Great Slunnington was further south for some reason, but here we are. So I will be connecting this up and building a proper station here now at Great Slunnington, and then we might even extend a little bit further south to the next big interchange station, which will be over in this gap here, and it will probably be named after Suam, because why name it after the big towns and cities around it when you can name it after the little one right here, which is basically what we did back in the day. Has my Twitch stream broken? Yes, it has. I hate Twitch. Something's gone wrong with Twitch. I don't know what. It says I'm offline. That's great, isn't it? But I'm not stopping to fix it. I'm also just checking that people can actually hear me in the chat, because I'm not dropping any frames, but no one's talking, and that's concerning. So we'll find out about that. Anyway, let's get started, because I am still streaming and recording, so even if there is a technical problem, I will still get started at least. And then we'll see what's happening. Let me also just set OBS up again properly. There we go. Right. So yeah, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to extend this line down here through or underneath Sludhead, and there will be a station. Alright, Sludhead is going to have a little bit of minor rebuilding work done to it as well. Something like this. Now, what am I going to do here? I think what I might have to do is a little chicane. Right, yeah, people on YouTube, can you guys hear me right now? Because Twitch has crashed. So I just want to make sure that this stream is actually going out. Because I talked about a lot of stuff just now, and I don't think anyone was here to actually hear it. Which is very annoying, actually. It's kind of the reason why I do streams rather than just videos. So I can talk directly to people. I did a whole thing about the M4J network and merchandise and stuff like that as well. Please don't make me repeat it. Very, very frustrating. Anyway, tonight's going to be a positive stream. Okay, so we're going to tunnel underneath Sludhead, like so. And then at some point I'll come back through here and I'll rebuild everything. And it should hopefully look very nice and very lovely. Then we're going to pass by this little bit here. Now, so I've got a plan ahead here, because we need to go right back out towards the coast here. Eurostar. Huh? What? What about Eurostar? Okay, add 2, and then number 3, and then number 4. There we go, and then, yeah, we're going to go in a straight line down here. We're literally going to run alongside the high-speed line at this point. I think that's quite a cool touch. And then somewhere we'll either bridge over it or tunnel under it. Oh, isn't that old news? I thought Eurostar started last year between Amsterdam and London. In fact, I know it did because I watched the video on it. Oops. What side are the express tracks on? I think they're on the east side. Yeah. Oops. I'm just all over the place right now. I had a plan for everything tonight, and now I'm just slowly descending into madness. There we go. Alright, I might as well do the groundwork here first. And then I can... So there will be a station here, although I don't think it's going to be very popular. But we'll build one anyway, just cause. So yeah, now you'll be able to see like the history of this line, where it was just the slow lines first, then the fast lines were built next to it, and then when the high-speed line was extended north towards Gronnwell, they built that on reclaimed land right next to the existing lines. I think that's a nice bit of lore. I still don't know if people can hear me or not. Can someone please just put my mind at rest? I thought I was doing a good thing by streaming early, but I think I've really caught people off guard because just no one's here, no one's talking. I think I'll be learning from that for next week. How disappointing. Oh yeah, this will get upgraded. The high-speed tracks. And then here is where the new line will go. I think we'll fill this gap like this. There we are. I can hear you. Finally! Thank you. Man, oh man. So, yeah. I did that whole thing about merchandise and no one heard it. Cool. That's good to know. Okay, so the track here will turn slightly inland. I think, I'd like it to serve a little hen bridge. And then maybe go this way around the lake, rather than having to do 90-degree turns. And then, oh, I don't even know what I'm going to do here. It's probably going to have to come around this way, and then over the bridge here, and then might have to skip out Wren Town altogether, so that we're lined up with Great Slunnington. Because that is our datum. We can't miss Great Slunnington under no circumstances. Oh, also, if you're wondering what these trains are on the left-hand side, I was just doing some freight tests to see if I could get freight traffic back in service on the network, and so far it's looking good. However, one thing I've kind of realized is the system that we had in place previously, which kind of compensated the old scheduling system, doesn't really work right now with the new system, so that might have to get changed. So if anyone has any ideas, I've got some ideas, but if anyone else has any ideas, that would be cool. I say the merch looks really good, shame I'm broke. Yeah, I'm going to be working, right, I'll repeat what I said. I won't use the picture again, but I'll repeat what I said, because if you really, really want to know what I said, you can always just go back and rewatch the stream when it goes up tomorrow. But, I've got a screenshot of the network as a whole, all the way from east to west, north to south. That itself will go up on a design. One thing I'm kind of hoping that I can get some help with from Kurt, and I'm not bothering him at the moment because he's doing something else very important right now, but if he does have some free time in the next week or so, I might ask him if he can design a logo for M4J Rail. But if anyone else wants to have a go at designing a logo for M4J Rail, feel free to do so, because the logo you design might not make it onto merchandise because there's all sorts of licensing issues that would come from that. But what I want to do is get some ideas for the logo, because I need a logo to go on the shirts basically. And right now, I've got some ideas, but my drawing skills aren't what they should be, really, considering what I do for a living. So yeah, I need some inspiration. But any do you know what? Yeah, I think I will do cantilever bridge here. Cantilever with like a viaduct next to it. I'm really struggling to get my words out now, and I don't know why. So the network map as a whole, the screenshot that I've taken from the game, that will go up as its own design, and there'll be some text around it, and there'll be an M4J Rail logo. But I'm also going to do a tube map style version of the M4J network map, where instead of specific stations, it'll just have the town or the city. So it won't be Wenfingfield Western, it'll just be Wenfingfield, and it'll have little connector blobs and stuff like that. So Guard City will just be one single blob, which will then have all the different lines radiating out of it. I would like to have all the correct colour for each line, so like the GWR colour and the Great Eastern colour and all that stuff. And I've got those stored away, so I know what those are. And then again, I need an M4J Rail logo to cap that off and make it look very nice and very lovely. So that will be its own design, and that will go up probably in the next couple of weeks. I don't really want to put a time frame on it right now, just in case I have to miss the deadline for whatever reason. But it will go up, because M4J Network is the one that I really want to sell merch on right now, because it is the most popular series. There will be some Global Ventures stuff in the future as well, particularly as more people are now watching that series, which is good because it means that my my pleading in my 1K streams has actually paid off. So I'm really happy with that. Plus, even people on the Planet Coaster community are starting to be nice about it again now as well. So good stuff there. Yesterday's episode was one that I'm really, really happy with, and I'm looking forward to, even now, even sitting here, I'm coming up with ideas for how to theme that ride. So I'm looking forward to jumping back into the game. But yeah, the M4J network stuff for that will be going up. It'll be, you know, hats, mugs, t-shirts, hoodies. I think that's it really. Phone cases maybe. Although I mean I've not really been one myself to buy fancy phone cases. I actually did for my phone that I've got now. I went and bought one that was really robust, and I bought like a decorative one, thinking I'd use both, and it turns out I don't. I'd only use the robust one because it's actually a really nice phone case. I highly recommend it. If anyone's got a OnePlus 5 out there, I got a good recommendation for a phone case for you. Can I create a logo for Guard City Western Railway? Okay, here's the issue. If you want to make one just for the series, go ahead. I'm not stopping you. I think that's an awesome idea. And I think as well, anyone who supports me on Patreon and gets their own franchise, as part of the franchise deal, you'll be able to design your own logo as well as your own train livery. I think that's cool and that's fine. But I can't sell it. I can't put it on a t-shirt and sell it because it's not mine, it's yours. And I really don't want to get into the headache of doing licensing and things like that because it's more effort than it's worth right now. So yes, feel free to create your own logo, but it won't be sold as merchandise, and I'm sure you can understand why. Because as I say, it's an absolute minefield. I've been there. Last year we had some licensing issues with XVI, and you know, even doing the merchandise this year for my stuff, just checking that the font, like the font that I've used on my logo for 6 years, just checking that I could use that as a design for a shirt. It's harder than you think because it's not necessarily publicly available, all of the licensing stuff. So that was a barrel of laughs, but as it turns out, I'm okay. I'm clear to use it. But yeah, feel free to design your own logo. That's where I was going with that. But I won't be able to sell it. And even if you're happy and you say right now, oh, you can sell it, that's fine. Unfortunately, that doesn't qualify in a court of law. So we'd have to sign paperwork and all that kind of thing, and it's just a hassle. Plus, again, right now, we're all hands on deck because Project Cavier, which is the game we're working on at XVI, is getting very, very close to its demo release. So we're all working hard on that, which means that, you know, Sakif is in charge of the legal side of the business. He's doing a lot of trademarking and copywriting and stuff like that, which I probably shouldn't really be talking about, but there we go. I'm doing a lot of stuff to do with promotion, so getting ready to market the game. And there's a lot of really cool stuff happening right now, which means we're all really, really busy. So I can't just, you know, go to Sakif and say, hey, do you mind drawing up a contract for merchandise? Or say to Alex, hey, do you mind helping me knock up this design? It's all on me right now. But yeah, I really want people to get involved and kind of take the workload off me a little bit, which sounds really lazy, I know, but it's technically true. So yeah, design your own logos. Feel free. Knock yourself out. Alright, so this is the first big junction station here at Great Slunnington. And I think I was going to build this with tunnels and stuff, but I think I might just build this as a big canyon instead. Because I think, and I keep saying that a lot, but I believe it would be easier to just build it like this. And then connect these up. Whoops. So actually I can build a bit of a tunnel. Which level? This one, I think. Or this one? This one. There we are. So Great Slunnington Station is probably going to be moving slightly further south, just so I've got room to put waypoints and stuff in. Actually, right now, I don't really have a design for this station. I have no idea what it's going to look like. Oops, too high. It's better. So I can just go nuts with the landscaping here as well and make it all join up and look nice. And same on this side. And just cap that bit off as well. In other news, M4J related news, the racing series is almost returning as well, which I'm really excited about. I've been sorting out my cars. I know Kurt's been jumping on the game a fair bit. Well, I say that, he went on yesterday for like an hour. Ben is getting ready, Sakif is in. I think we've got some other people from outside the company that will be joining as well. It'll be an M4J series, it's not an XVI thing, it's just got people from XVI joining in. So that will be starting soon. I am, of course, Season 1 champion right now, and you can buy the Season 1 champion t-shirt from, what was it, xvisioninteractive.com/the-m4j-store. I should probably change that URL, make it a little bit easier to remember. Let's get the chat going, guys. Come on, it's a bit quiet. It's very quiet. Okay, so the line from Gronnwell to Great Slunnington is complete. Or at least in terms of, yeah, in terms of actual track work, it's pretty much complete. But we still have to build the junctions, the stations, the signalling, all of that nice stuff. So I think Great Slunnington Station is actually going to be moving sort of this area. I think this gives us quite a lot of space to work with. Whoops. That's why I don't like using the auto tool. There we go. So we'll have the through lines, which will be on the fast lines, which are the easternmost ones. And then somewhere in this gap, something like this, like that. More Eurostar service could go to Spain, Germany, Italy and Switzerland. Again, it feels like, I swear that we've been here before when they were talking about this. Maybe it was just planned. I know that during the winter they run extra trains to French ski resorts. I could have sworn I've heard this story before, where they're going to run trains to Switzerland and things like that. I know there's a new train service recently that started between Geneva and, oh god, I do know the place. I've got my magazine here, in fact, so I can check the place. Annemasse in France. I've been to Geneva. Very nice station. Very nice station. Geneva as a whole is a very, very beautiful city. I had a good time in Geneva. This is when I did physics at school. I was at CERN the day they switched on the Large Hadron Collider, and the fact that I wasn't obliterated into a black hole suggests that it's perfectly safe, and perhaps people were scaremongering a little bit with that, but there we go. We made it, guys. Do you remember those days? Like, in the build-up to it, people were talking about how it was the end of the Earth as we knew it and things like that, and then when they actually switched it on, half the people that were complaining about it didn't even notice that they'd switched it on. And then, you know, it all went very quiet when they actually found out. Those were the days. Do you remember 2012 as well, when everyone was telling us that we were all going to die, and then we didn't, and they kind of slowly slinked away as well. Happy memories. Okay, so yeah, we got the fast platforms here. the slow platforms will overlap slightly, like we have on the Great Western Line, and then we'll have the little junction somewhere around this area for the platforms here that will then connect over towards the Bar City commuter belt. And we might even have a train that starts at Gronnwell, comes down to Great Slunnington, and then reverses up the line towards Wenningpool. Something like that. Make it look a little bit nicer. Is the stream running okay, by the way? Because my view count keeps dropping as well, and I'm wondering, is it? I mean, might not be buffering, but is the video quality and everything okay? I don't know. I feel really paranoid tonight. There's a lot of people who are normally here that aren't, and I just, yeah. Where is everyone? Okay. So, signal, 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 and then these are going to be signaled as well. Like so. Then it's through line, signal, 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 signal. Quality is bad. In what way is it, like, is it resolution? Is it bitrate? I have the option for high quality. Okay. I can raise the bitrate. Have I just broke? Okay. I've changed the encoder, and I've raised the bit. Alright, hang on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's all calm down a minute. Okay, I've lowered the bitrate. I've changed the encoder. Yeah, let me know if that improves it or not. I have a horrible feeling it won't. But we shall see. How annoying, though. Okay. Signal, 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 whoops, signal. And then on this side, we'll have this track do this, and this, and this. You'll connect there, and then these two lines will form this bit, as well as that bit. That works. Good stuff. Yeah, I think because last week I was just changing things in a blind panic and didn't change them back. Okay, let's do this, and then we'll put you there. We'll get rid of that. So just in case there are some HSTs that use these platforms, they can do so like so. Now why did I build this bit? I don't know. You can just go like that. So yeah, we might end up electrifying at least the route that joins up with the BCB. And now we've got to build the platforms. So let's go with, make sure it is the right station. There we go. So we'll go with this, and then we'll put island platform like so. Then we'll leave a gap, and then on this side we'll put this one like that. Then we'll put this one like that, and then that one like that, and that one like that. Then I think somewhere around this bit we should have a bridge. Let's go bench bridge. Yeah, I think that'll work. And then we can have bridge, 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 gap, bridge, and then that. Then we need some shelters, like so, and then I'll probably put like a sign. So I think the signs on this side will go there, there, and there. I'll then put benches on this side. And then here I might just go like that, and then just put that and that and that. I think that works. And then benches again. Yeah, there and there. And then shelter there and there. And then benches there. And then that. Okay, and then on this, I've got to stop saying and then. It's like that meme. So we'll do this, and then, for God's sake, I said it again. You can go there, and there. We'll put that there. I'm just gonna like bite my tongue if I say it again. Be good to see those destinations from St Pancras. Oh, yeah, like Geneva. Well, wouldn't be Geneva. Like what locations in Rome, Lisbon, Barcelona, Milan, Marseille, Bordeaux, Geneva, Frankfurt, and Cologne? I'm assuming some of those will be like Frankfurt via Cologne or Cologne via Frankfurt. I can't remember which way around they are. It'll certainly be quite shocking to look at the departure board, because on one side it will say you know, Loughborough, Leicester, Nottingham, Sheffield, Leeds, and on the other side it will say Rome, Milan, Bordeaux. That is quite a culture change. All due respect to the Midlands, it's not Milan. You know. So yeah, I imagine quite a few people would sort of do a double take when they walk past that for the first time. Alright. Done. So that's the first part of the stream actually finished, which I genuinely thought it was going to take longer to do than this. We do still have to put all the stations and stuff in, of course, but to actually get this first bit done, quite happy. We can signal it now as well, which also just makes it all look a little bit nicer. These bridges are going to look awesome with the trains running over. I don't actually know what rolling stock we're going to run on this section, because the BCB is going to have Class 800s in the future, but I think it's just going to have HSTs to start with. We might actually put LNER or East Coast maybe liveried Class 91s, because they're around about the time that we're looking at with this. Sort of late 80s, early 90s, that's when the Class 91s were introduced. What do you guys reckon? I think, so put that one there. I reckon, like here, I'll just put a couple of extra signals, like so. And then here, do this. Follow the line. London to Rome, Lisbon, Barcelona, Milan, Marseille, Bordeaux, Geneva, Frankfurt. Yeah, what I meant was, it's not just going to be one train runs from London to Cologne, one train runs from London to Frankfurt. It'll be kind of like the Amsterdam service. It goes via Lille, Brussels. It is just Lille and Brussels, isn't it? And then it goes through to Amsterdam. 91's tribute to them. Yeah, the 91s were taken way too soon, in my opinion. I know that the Azumas are good, and I know that the variants of the Azuma is good, but there was nothing really that wrong with the 91s. They were still some of the most powerful, fastest electric locos in the UK. And we did our typical thing of, we got a new toy now, so we're just going to bin the old one. I think it's gone too soon. So open access, any open access operators right now that come in with the promise of running Class 91s, they're probably immediately going to be successful because of that. Or just, you know, recycling them. Don't use them for freight though. I've seen that being speculated, and I think the 90s were good enough for that. But yeah, use them for. I know Grand Central is now using. It's either using 90s or 91s. At this stage, no one's really sure. I think they should use 91s. I think it's good to have more destinations across Europe. It is. I'm not disagreeing with that. I think it's very good to have more destinations across Europe. I think it's almost a little bit too little too late. I still think it would be cool with the High Speed 2 reviews going on at the moment. Imagine Manchester to Marseille or Liverpool to Lisbon. You know, I don't necessarily have a problem with budget airlines, but if the rail industry is serious about taking them on, we have a rail link between London and the entirety of Europe, mainland Europe. Why don't we use it? So I think in that instance, you're spot on. You know, it's awesome to think about that possibility, but there's loads of logistical stuff that's going to be changing over the next couple of years that we don't even know yet what that could involve. Yeah, we built a train in the late 80s that was capable of 140 miles an hour, and never in its service life was it pushed to its limit. What a waste of potential. And now the trains that have been brought in to replace them also have a top speed of 140 miles an hour, and I would wager at this moment in time that they won't ever see their top speed in their service life either. And again, we'll do rail news and stuff in a second, but I was reading about Transpennine Express and their new trains. They're having to limit the number of services they can run between Liverpool and Edinburgh via Newcastle at the moment, because the northern end of the East Coast Mainline still hasn't been upgraded to meet the power demands that all these new trains have. And in fact, where'd I put it? I'll refer to the article now, because I'm infuriated reading this. We talk about how far ahead we plan with things. And, you know, the rail industry in the UK in the last 5 years or so has become a bit of a laughingstock. But it used to be really well orchestrated, really well thought through, really well executed. But with this power supply issue, 2012, I think it was. No, 2014, sorry. So the power supply upgrade, I think it's PSU 2. So PSU 1 was an upgrade to the power supplies between Wood Green and Bawtry. And that was completed in August 2017, so nearly 3 years ago. In 2014, the PSU 2 was needed. You know, it says here, despite clear indications PSU 2 was vital as far back as 2014, Department for Transport authorization to proceed with the work was not granted until January of last year, 2019. So even in 2016, concerns were being expressed by the OOR that we needed to upgrade the power supply, and it didn't happen. And only now has it been, well, a year ago, which is basically yesterday in terms of planning at the moment, was it authorized, and it's going to be finished It's going to start sometime in early 2020, and it should be done. Well, again, I'm reading lots of different dates here. LNER has been given indications this work may not be completed until 2024 because of the amount of work needed to provide a feed in a remote part of the UK, meaning some major timetable changes that should have come in later this year could still be 5 years away. How stupid are the people who run this railway? So Virgin lost the East Coast because they were deemed not capable of delivering the new trains on time, and yet LNER are now being told, the government run LNER, I might add, are being told that they might not be able to introduce their new timetable fully. So the new trains are running, the Azumas are running, but the new timetables won't be introduced now until at least 2024, maybe even 2025. But, you know, it's Virgin's fault, wasn't it? Wasn't anyone else's fault. No, just Virgin. It's not like Network Rail, the government-run infrastructure maintainer, constructor, whatever you want to call them. It's not like they did anything wrong. And the DFT, they've done nothing wrong, even though they didn't sanction the rebuilding. I'm ranting. I apologise. I don't want to rant tonight. How dumb, though. How dumb. Let's talk about good things, like the possibility of Eurostars running to continental Europe. I actually do think that's a really good idea, and it would make me want to travel to Europe more often, because I don't like flying that much. I don't mind it, I'll do it when I have to, but I prefer not to have to fly, and to have the option to hop on a train instead. That's actually a bit of a game changer for me. To be able to, like, already I can get a train from London to Disneyland Paris if I really wanted to, and believe me, a part of me still does. But to just be able to go to anywhere in Europe on a train, even if you have to change once or twice along the way, I still think it's such a cool thing to be able to do. I was watching a documentary the other day on the construction of the Channel Tunnel, narrated by Mark Hamill of all people, which I thought was awesome. You know, Luke Skywalker is telling me how the Channel Tunnel was built, and you look at some of the methods that were created in order to be able to build the Channel Tunnel. Things like tunnel boring machines that we now know quite regularly operate in and around London, currently doing things like the Northern Line extension and Crossrail and things like that. And even to an extent, High Speed 2 will be constructed using those kinds of machines. They were very, very, very new back in the late 80s when High Speed 1 was being constructed in the Channel Tunnel. It's just incredible to think how far we've come in, 20, 30 years. Good for the environment, might be a competitive market as well. Yeah, so I mean, already in France, SNCF have their budget rail service, which it kind of does the Ryanair thing of, we tell you it goes to Paris, but it doesn't really go to Paris. It sort of goes to the suburbs of Paris. But I still think that's good enough, because unlike at an airport, you can't just change onto a plane that then takes you into the city centre. Whereas if you, for example, let's say High Speed 2 doesn't go to Euston, but it terminates at Old Oak Common instead. Some people might get upset and say, but it's not the centre of London. Other people might say, but GWR will also stop there, and they do connect into the centre of London. So you can just hop onto another train without having to leave the station. Whereas in airports, you can't really do that. You can do that for other cross-city flights. So like if you fly to Paris and then change onto an aircraft that flies to London, for example. But you can't just change to go into the centre of the city. So I think high-speed rail is something that is so underutilised at the moment. It's something that we really need to look at doing more of. And I think it will crush budget airlines. If we give it the chance to, it will. I do feel quite strongly about that. Because budget airlines now, people are becoming more conscious about the environment, which I think is a really good thing as well. No one wants to fly when other options are better. So high-speed rail, it's a good solution, but you've got to give it the chance. Alright, we'll build a 4-track station here, I think, at Prattborough. What an unfortunate name. Prattborough Market will be getting a 4-track station. I should probably build something other than island platforms as well, but I'm in lazy mode at the moment. 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. And then over here, I will build a different type of station. Let's build it here. Whoops, not that one. That one. 3, 4, 5. Oh, signal there. I'll move that. The merger of Thalers and Eurostar might help. May see Germany next. The only thing I don't like about the merger of Thalers and Eurostar, I think it's awesome again. You know, I use that word a lot, but trust me, when you hear good news, like you get showered in bad news so often. So when you hear good news, you're not really quite sure how to put it into words. But trust me, awesome is a good word for it. I don't like the name though. Isn't it called Go Green or something? Which sounds like a political campaign more than a rail company. But I do like the idea of what they should do is, because Eurostar is a recognizable brand, so maybe they shouldn't do anything with that. But Thales, they should try and merge that into the Eurostar brand a little bit more. Or maybe even, if they do order new trains, which I think they are considering doing right now, have it under a new brand and actually have that brand run to from London to these other new locations. So instead of just launching it under the Eurostar, because everyone knows Eurostar is the 3 cities, London, Paris, Brussels. So maybe have the new brand run to the other locations, because then that brand will be associated with that service, rather than people trying to get their head around the fact that Eurostar now goes to all these new destinations. It might work better in the long run. It might also have no effect whatsoever, but you never know with things like this. It might just be me having no faith in humanity right now. Greenspeed, that's the one. Oh, it's the project rather than the operator. I guess it's kind of like Google. Google is actually, their parent company is called ABC, and like no one really remembers that. Everyone refers to them as Google and YouTube and things like that. I saw a tin can for sale on Amazon. Guess how much in dollars? 35. I'm going to guess it's going to be something ridiculously high. It's got to be. Otherwise, it's not newsworthy. And if it is $35, you can buy an M4J hoodie for that. Just putting that out there. Okay, this station is going to run this side of the town. And again, I'm bulldozing big areas of town, and I apologise to the good citizens of Fondom in this case, which sounds a lot like fondue, and now I'm hungry. Go on then, George. How much was this tin can? I'm actually really wanting to know now. Curiosity's getting the better of me. Slow lines are on this side, aren't they? Yeah, so that's town side. That's good. Now we've got to somehow like come this way and then bridge over, and then Phenom station will be probably on this little bit of land here. So I think what I'll do from here is this, and then this. $1,000. Genius ideas to get idiots to buy a product. Is it literally just a tin can? Nothing inside it? Damn, I'm in the wrong industry. Yeah, never mind the shirts and hoodies. I should just be selling tin cans. I will be selling mugs actually at some point as well, which, I mean, some people might be interested in that. Some people might not be. What I actually really need right now, because it's all well and good me saying, you know, I'm going to sell a hoodie, I'm going to sell a t-shirt, but what kind of things... Ignore budgets for a second. If you were going to buy something with a logo on it, or like a map on it, or anything like that, what kind of item would you buy? Like, would it be a poster? Would it be a t-shirt? Whoops. Would it be a mug? Would it be a hoodie? Whatever it is. And just imagine for a second that money's no object. Because trust me, I'll try and make the prices as good as I can do. But yeah, what kind of items would you be interested in? Just so I know what kind of things to actually go away and design. Wow, just a tin can, nothing inside. Yeah, that's quite a career move. Of course, just because it's for sale for 1,000 doesn't mean there's people buying it for that amount. Alright, so we're going to have a station here at Gronnwell Bridge, and then we're going to turn south again down here to Rintborough, and then we'll run along the coast, and then our next big station down here at Suham. Poster, mug. Okay. I can the cool thing with the store that we've got at the moment is I can pretty much take existing designs and add them to other products. But everything... I don't want to use the word prototype because it isn't prototype, but everything on the store at the moment is like first edition, as it were. So improvements will be made over time. I like the idea of what's on there at the moment becoming like limited edition stuff. So there's no time frame right now as to how long it's going to be on the store for, but one day it will get replaced and then it will become a rare item, and it might end up becoming a $1,000 tin can type product. Banana slicer saved someone's marriage. Well, that sounds like the title of someone's autobiography if ever I heard of it. What's the thing in Brooklyn Nine-Nine? It's like title of your sex tape or something. Alex will know. He's big on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He pretty much knows the script to every episode, which I used to think sad bastard, but then I've watched House enough times that I probably know most of the episodes off by heart now as well. So you just get a TV show that you really, really enjoy, like the Goes Wrong show. I know I talked about it on stream the other week, but now that series is finished, I can safely say it's one of the funniest shows I've seen on TV in a long, long time, and I really do hope they get a second series. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go on iPlayer if you have access to it, and just search for the Goes Wrong show. First episode is a Christmas one, so you don't necessarily have to watch that if you are superstitious, but all the other ones are really, really funny episodes. So cleverly done as well. I really do like the way they all the little in-jokes, all the little jokes that come back later on in the show. The fact that all the characters they play, so they play characters playing characters, basically. So it's so leveled. There's so many different elements to it. And you can really feel like the personality of each character coming out as the series goes on. It's really, really good. I cannot recommend it enough. Okay, we're back on the coast. Or at least we are for a little bit, and then eventually we'll turn inland again. Let's build this as a causeway. Someone complained that a baby book had no plot twist. It's called Where's Baby's Belly Button? I'll give you two guesses where his belly button is. Okay, I'm in QI mode, so it's either not where it's meant to be, or it's exactly where it's meant to be. So I think it's probably going to be exactly where it's meant. Who wants a plot twist in a book like that? You're going to scar a kid for life. What genius came up with that? I mean, why does that even need to be a book? That's what I want to know. I mean, I'm the exception rather than the norm, but when I was in primary school, I was reading books like Frankenstein, and I mean, I read all the Harry Potter books as well when I was a kid, which, I mean, they are kids' books, so let's not be kidding ourselves here, but um, to be that young and still be able to just read books yourself and be able to take it all in, I'd say that's quite impressive. I am blowing my own trumpet, of course. One thing, again, I'll say about merchandise is I ordered my hoodie on Friday, the day the store launched, and it arrived this morning. So turnaround times, top notch, if I do say so myself. And that includes me cocking it up as well and accidentally cancelling the order, which I won't do from now on because I now know how not to do that. Yes, we learn by doing, we learn by mistakes, and trust me, I did a lot of learning on Friday. With a very nice patient person on the live chat as well that helped me out when I ballsed it up. But we're all good. We're all good and we're all working, and that's the main thing. Someone use a toilet brush to wipe. Okay, what is all this randomness now? Oh, my Twitch stream is not cooperating again. It must just be because the bitrate's too high, but the bitrate needs to be high. I despair. I might have to stop doing restream for these streams because Twitch, I don't know what's happened to them over the last year or so. They used to be so good. I used to enjoy streaming on Twitch, whereas now it feels more like a chore than an enjoyable experience. And just it's dumb things like who expects to have to clear their cache every time they stream on Twitch just to make their Twitch page work. That just seems like such a faff. Funny videos I watch. Huh. Yeah, someone else Google this, just so I know it's not me having this problem. On Twitch, it's called error number 1000. Error number 1000. The video download was cancelled. Please try again later. Error 1000. Now, I've had that error when I've been streaming. Kurt had that error last week, I think, when he was streaming. And our friend Kirsty had that error last week when she was streaming. So it's becoming a more regular thing. And the only solution I've found online for fixing error 1000 is to clear your cache on Chrome. And I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous. I don't want to have to clear my cache. Even if I just clear it for Twitch, I don't want to have to clear my cache every day when either I'm streaming or one of my friends is streaming, just so I can watch it. Yeah, it's not working. Is it error 1000 for you as well, Tom? It's ridiculous. And I'm the only one out of the three of us that uses Restream, so I know it's not that that's causing it. And I know it can't be things like bitrate either, because it's whether you stream from console directly or whether you stream from PC like me and Kurt do, we just get that error. And who knows? Who knows what's causing it? Who knows how to fix it? I don't know. It's really deflating though when you're trying to stream and just technology doesn't want to work. How annoying. Yeah. Error 1000. What a palaver. Alright, so this bit here, this is going to be the site of Suam Station. Suam something. I think it needs a like a suffix after it. I'm going to clear quite a big site here. Something like this. That should be big enough. Fingers crossed. Now we'll do some land flattening, like so. So the actual platforms are probably going to be in this gap here. If I get rid of that road and these roads, I can then flatten this bit as well. And the platforms will do something like this. These lines will go straight through as per. And then there'll be probably 3 lines either side. Including that one, that one, that one, that one. Oop, come on. That one and that one. Alright, and then you'll do that, you'll do that, you'll do that. Okay. You're just saying random words, George. I don't know what you're saying. Join those up like so. Here we'll do some other little crossovers, kind of like this. Oh. What does milieu mean? Assuming I'm pronouncing that right. Oh, it's... Oh, hang on. I've just done it all wrong here. It's all gone wrong, people. Okay, let's do this. And instead of putting that one there, we'll put that one there. It means middle. Could the station be called Suam Milieu? What language is that? I think it could work. Also here, I'm tempted to have the fast lines cut through this bit and then have the slow lines go this way and then loop round. In French. Could do then. Nice little French connection, if you pardon the pun. Whoops. I think it's got quite a nice ring to it, hasn't it? It's in the middle of the towns. Yeah, I think you're onto something there. Also, this is going to do this now. So, that and that. Get rid of those two and connect you up like so. I think that. And that. I think that'll do. That looks quite nice. Quite happy with that. So this southern bit here, we'll add in. I'm just trying to think how to do this, because basically this line here has to also join. So we can either do a side on and have some extra platforms here and make this one big L-shaped station, or we can use some of the junction here and actually have the line come around this way and join up on this side. Now, considering this is the line from this, which we built, this was last week's one, wasn't it? 3 lines converge in this big station, and then it runs fast line, slow line, I think. Or it might be north and south. I can't actually remember how this is done now. So we could, yeah, we could actually have it connect up. Maybe we'll have one come in from the north like that, and then the other one come in from the south like that. I think that could work, because then this could become like a loop station. I know we have a lot of loop stations on the network, and it's a nasty habit that I need to shake myself out of. But right now, I think it's for the best. I think it works quite well. Okay, so the slow lines, I'm going to leave like this, and we'll do it as a viaduct, and then we'll have a station in that gap there, and then after that station it will then branch off and join up with the line that we just looked at. So I think here we'll do this, and then you will just go up like this to about here, and then run along like this to about here, and then join up like this. So I think the top speed on the slow lines is going to be conventional, 75 miles an hour, nothing special. It's not like the Western Reaches where it's going to be super duper high speed. Well, I say that, it's 100 miles an hour. It's not that high speed at all. You know what I mean though. We're not going to go all out mental on this side. It's going to be very much based on the conventional. Yeah, in a second we will build Suum Milieu. Am I saying it right? I know I should know how to say this. Milieu. Milieu. No, it's Milieu. It's the, because I'm thinking of the Millau Viaduct, which is AU, and this is IEU, so it's Milieu. Which almost sounds like a French person saying middle in English. But let's not do stereotypes today. Especially lazy stereotypes like that. Come on, Mark, you're better than that. I think I've put this in the wrong place. That's better. I really like these asymmetrical designs that I'm coming up with now. I kind of, because there's a lot of people that think symmetry is better, but it really depends. Asymmetry is sometimes a lot better, depending on what kind of thing you're going with. I might end up building a little bay platform down here as well. So for now, I think I will go like this, and then there's a gap, and then it's this. So the game wants me to call it Suum North. No, we're not going to do that. And actually, I'm going to build a proper island station here. We might even cover it. Which way around is that? Of course, it's the opposite of what I had. In that case, it's whoopsie doodle. Let's shift it over one and build it there. That's nice. And then, actually, what side is that? Yeah, it's on the wrong side. It's also the wrong side. Yeah, that ain't gonna work there, is it? Replan. Actually, I might use this, because GSJ, which currently uses that roof design is actually going to get rebuilt soon, so won't be needing this. And we could do that, and then there's a gap of 2, and then we could do another 4 on this side and have a bay platform here as well. That could work. I'm improvising. Maybe not necessarily well, but I'm improvising. Suam North. There we are. Okay, and now I can go back up to just island platforms. So on this side we can just go conventional again. Except for this one where we can extend it slightly, and we'll just put some benches or something like that. Here we'll just go benches again, and then we'll go with this, and then on the northern side we'll put plant barges. So I don't know what end that's going to get connected to yet, so I won't connect it all up just at this stage. Now I've got to get the fast lines out of town. I think the best way to do it would be bulldoze a line like this, and then flatten. What do you reckon? Up and over? I think let's do a little bit more on this side and a fraction more on this side, like that. And we'll do it through like that. And then here like so. Whoops, there we go. And then connect. Ooh. Oh, it's done. Looked like it wasn't flattened then. There we go. Alrighty. So now we can do the signalling, and then we can build the new stations. So let's put signal there. Signal there. Now in theory, okay, I've still got to put all the waypoints in and do all the speed limits and stuff, but in theory we can start running trains now between Gronnwell and Suam, which is good. Very happy with that. These, I don't know whether it's just I'm becoming a faster builder now or what, but these big build projects are taking a lot less time than they used to. Like, genuinely, I thought it would take 3-4 weeks to build this line pretty much as far as where we are now, and we've just shot through it. So in terms of the overall map, we're a long way away from where we want to be still. And you know what, there might even be, I think here the line might split, so there'll be a line that goes this way and there'll be a line that goes this way, just so that Dufingwell and Invertberg will have 2 stations, like a north and a south, or a north and an east in this case. And then, yeah, the East Coast Mainline will continue south. And then somewhere... Ooh, the quality. Yeah, somewhere, I think it's this one. This turns inwards and connects up over here at Preston. And then that goes down into Bar City. So we'll have trains running from Bar City to Gronnwell. And then this one, currently it terminates here. But I think we will continue it further down to at least here. And then even further, because we've got this station down here now at Pruntford that we built many, many weeks ago. And I'm thinking of having this as Pruntford low level, and then building a new station at 90 degrees facing this way and call it Pruntford high level. They'll still be both just Pruntford station, but in terms of low level, high level, it will help distinguish. Because then we won't have direct services that come this way and then turn north. You will have to change train at Pruntford. But I think that's a pretty cool idea as well. Because again, then you've got a connection between Pruntford and Bar City that people can use. I can't even remember if I finished converting all these signals that I was doing just now. I get distracted. What's the time? Only 10 past 8. I've got to think of something to do to fill the second hour of this stream now. What kind of things do you guys want to see? Let's say we do like half an hour to an hour doing something else. Probably not adding trains. We might be able to do some planning of services. I might be able to get the Chrome thing to switch over. But then I can't monitor the chat like I want to, so that might not work out. We'll see. I don't want to rule it out. I do have to build these stations before I can start doing that though. So, Huntington. One, two, three, four, five. Oh, it does fit. Tell you what, for this, let's go that there, then the bridge up, ticket machine, and then some shelters. Like so. No fare dodging on the M4J network. Can we plan a few services? Oh, I was dreading you saying that. I mean, okay, I'll see if I can get Chrome to come up on screen. We might look and see if there's any other lines we can connect up. Just around the network in general, if they're short, relatively short to build. New Flynville. Shall I have this as a 4-track? Maybe not. Maybe somewhere like Fondham or Phenom. Actually, Phenom. I think I mentioned Phenom having 4 tracks. So I think we'll do it here instead. Not that one. That one. Let's go bench, stairs, and then plant barge. Actually, on this side, I think I'm just going to do this. So lift access, because accessibility is something that definitely needs to be talked about more often, particularly in the railways. I do feel like accessibility is something, particularly like it's the 21st century, and there's so many tube stations that don't have step-free access still. I do find that quite amazing. I know it's old infrastructure, and to TfL's credit, they are slowly working through and upgrading. But it kind of feels a bit sluggish at times. But then, you know, there's a lot to it. It's a lot more involved than just, I'll build a new lift shaft, because there's all kinds of infrastructure underground that we just don't really remember being there, you know. Let's go this way. And stairs and that. I think Hinningbury is going to be a 4-track station as well. I think that would be pretty cool. And I am going to move this signal up one. It's one of the good things when you build signals like 11 tiles apart like we do here. One of the advantages to that is you can move a signal 1 tile and it shouldn't affect the balance of the train frequencies too much. That sounds like such a bullshit thing to say. You know what I mean? Like, if you bunch signals too close together at times, it can cause trains to bunch up as well. And it's that counterintuitive thing of it's not a case of you put the signals close together and trains will run close together. It's actually the opposite. If you put signals, there's like a a sweet spot. If you put them too far apart, then trains obviously run too far apart. But if you put them too close together, trains can then get backed up very quickly. So you want them at roughly. So I've done it as like two station lengths basically is where the 11 originally came from, because a station is about 6 tiles, 5-6 tiles. So 2 times that is 11, give or take. That's where that originated from. But more often than not now, I do move things around quite a lot to just try and find that sweet spot, like I said. It's like here. Again, there's a signal in the northbound. I don't actually know if this is the up direction or the down direction. I suppose if we're counting Bar City as being the basis here, the datum, then this would be up would be heading south and down would be heading north. Right, we need a 4-track station somewhere here. And all the signals, look how staggered they are. I think I'm going to have to work my magic here to get to get a station in this gap. Let's go with that and that. And then we'll put that one there and that one there. And then let's go on the slow lines, let's go shelter, shelter. And if I go into single-sided, it will be that there, that there. Actually, no, I don't need to do that, do I? I can just do this. So it's only on the fast lines where we're going to have to sort of improvise a little bit. Just do... Yeah, I'm just going to do plant barges either side. Why not? And then I'll do shelters. Like that. Yeah, I think that'll do it. Now I need to put the station here at Flontbourne, and then we're done with the station construction, which is good. Then we can start looking at some of the other things, so like other connections. I'm really into that now. Now that we've actually started doing it, I'm really liking the idea of all these extra connections that we're adding around the network. I just think it's a really good idea. Let's do benches. It's one of the things this Christmas just gone. I kind of did a take stock thing where I just looked at the network and thought, what things do I want to add to it in 2020? One of the first things I thought of was we've got all these main lines, which are great, but in real life you do have all these branch lines that come off as well. So the East Coast Mainline, you know, you've got the lines to Lincoln, you've got the line that goes inland, no, that goes west towards the Midlands. I'm trying to think where it is. Newark, basically. You've got that little crossover, the flat crossing. And then you've also got lines that branch out towards Cambridge, and you've got the Hertford Loop, you've got the... I mean, Peterborough, there's so many different junctions at Peterborough, it's incredible. So I want to do more of that. I want to have these interchanges and things like that, where it's not necessarily a junction, but an interchange. Is it double L? Doesn't look like it. IEU. Suum Milieu. And again, I'm probably still butchering that pronunciation. Right, what am I doing right now? So yeah, I want to check these station names, make sure that they're all right. So U Yeah, I think you're just going to be Plumfingley. Because I guess you're technically closer to Plumfingley than you are Flauntbourne in terms of the actual names. So that's fine. This here... Hinningbury? Can't read. I need to sit in my chair properly. I'm slouching. Ow. I just kicked my desk. Okay. So yeah, here we've got Ploufingfield. And then up here we've got Rainingwell. I'm sure we got a Rainingwell somewhere else on the network. Apparently not. Gruntbourne Bridge, even though there's no bridge. No, there's no real bridge to speak of. We might have to build one just so that the town has a justifiable name. Phenom. I think we'll call this one Phenom North. There may never be a Phenom South or East or West, but just to have a little bit of variety. Fondham, you are correct. New Flinningville. Flynnville. I really can't read it today either. Can't speak, can't read, can't do anything. Huntington. Then we've got Great Slunnington Junction. Slardingston. Pratborough Market. Something else I'm going to need as well is crossovers. So I think we'll mark out those now as well. Lenville. And then we've got Ponningville. Plendingston. I really love this with the high-speed lines next to it as well. I just think that looks so cool. And then Sludhead. Okay, so I think we're going to need probably 2 sets of crossovers on the line that we've built so far. I think the first one is going to be around here. Maybe in this gap. Actually, maybe... hang on. Maybe in this gap. Let's say I did that and that. And then I did that. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to go really unconventional with these crossovers. Or am I? No, maybe I'm not, actually. Maybe I'm just going to be bog standard. And I think this gap is probably going to be a better one, all things considered, because then we can just go bang and bang. Do the same thing here. And then on this side... Oh, there's a signal there. Of course there is. Why wouldn't there be? So yeah, okay, in that case we'll go like this on this side. And then this will move to there, and to there, and to there, and to there. So it's slightly unconventional. The design that we've gone with. Slightly unconventional, mainly conventional. A bit vanilla. So many ways you can build a crossover though, let's be honest. There we go. So that's the first one. And it should allow... Yeah. It just looks weird. I think it's because it's slightly staggered and it's all like contained in a tight packed bit. But that's mainly going to be for if there's an express service that crosses over so that it gets on the slow lines here and then it can go into the platform here and then reverse. Because then, I mean, in theory then, we can run a variety of services, like cross-country, cross-region services that will then also reverse, and Grand Central, because I think Grand Central will be making a comeback at some point in the future. And then the second crossover... My preview screen just went black. Okay, it's back. That was a bit worrying. The second crossover is probably going to be in this gap here. Is the stream Still okay? Or is it a bit iffy? Hopefully it's okay. Alright, you go there, you go there, you go there, you go there. So I've not really left myself room for waypoints here, but we can always add a couple more there. I don't know, the stream just... every week it seems to be a different problem, and it kind of makes me question things a lot. Is it worth it? That's the question I'm always asking. Is it worth it? Is it worth all the technical issues and stuff like that? Who knows at this stage? Who knows? Okay, and then that takes us nicely over to Suam. Yeah, I'll be honest, guys. Tonight has been a bit disappointing, the stream. You know, one person watching, one person talking. That's all it's been, really. I don't really know what to say about it. It's just disappointing. It's one of these things. You know, you hit 1,000 subscribers and you start thinking, okay, audience retention rate, that's the next thing that needs to go up. And then I look, you know, 1,000 people have subscribed, no one unsubscribes, and YouTube doesn't really remove anybody in the purges that they do. So they're active channels, people are watching my stuff. But then I upload a video and it gets like 10 views in a month, and it's just, it does my head in. It's a real numbers game, and it makes no sense. And because people don't offer constructive criticism and feedback necessarily, it's really hard to gauge what am I doing well, what do I need to improve on, and things like that. And I just kind of start to lose interest at that point. And, you know, as I said earlier, XVI, we're all hands on deck now, pushing towards the demo release. And I'm kind of flicking between M4J and XVI. I've launched the store, which I'm still really psyched about, but just viewership in general, it's just a bit meh. Grand Central could come back. Where would that go? At this moment in time, I think Grand Central will be all of the cross-country type services that don't necessarily run through dense. So right now we could do a Suam service that runs up the East Coast line here to Great Slunnington, and then it will diverge and it will run... This is speculative, by the way, I'm not saying this is what will actually happen. But let's say it runs along here, joins up with the commuter belt, leaves the commuter belt again, and then runs up this way. Let's say it turns south, and then diverges here, and then runs all the way down this line, as if it's going towards Guard City, but then at the last second diverges up here and terminates at Wanston. Now, in theory, that's a cross-region or cross-country service, but it doesn't run through Denston. So that could be something that would be like Central Trains or Grand Central, whatever you would like to call it. That could be that service. But I'm a bit... I don't just want to jump in and say, hey, we're going to do this service, because chances are things might change. And I mean, what I'm basically saying is don't add them to the spreadsheet or the PowerPoint just yet, because it might not be finalized. But I'm at that stage again where I'm needing ideas. So if anyone has any ideas for... Hey, this was meant to come over as well, wasn't it? And join up with the East Coast. I could do it. Yeah, Great Slunnington. We can have a diverging line here as well. If you have any ideas for future episodes, new connections, that kind of thing, feel free to suggest them. Next week, currently, I have no idea what we're going to be doing. One part of me is saying, let's redo the freight, but we've kind of already done that in the last 6 months, so I don't want to do that again. Another part of me is saying let's switch back to road and ships for a bit and rebuild the canals and do that kind of thing. And another part of me is thinking let's just go really train heavy and just fill up the lines again. So kind of what we did a couple of weeks ago, where we finished off the Great Western and started working on the Great Northern, sorry, not Grand Northern, where we went to the existing trains, we did all the timetable, and then we added scheduled dispatch. I might just do something like that, but I want to be a bit more full on. This was meant to be the big build episode, and it kind of feels a bit like a damp squib right now. I might just be overplaying it, I might just be overthinking it, but I don't know. I need my audience to tell me, basically. It's what I appreciate the most about having a large following is when I can just bounce ideas off you guys. So feel free to suggest, whether it's live in the chat now or whether it's in the comments section below once this becomes a video. Feel free to suggest ideas for the network. We've got one vote for train heavy. I do like the idea of going train heavy. I don't think everyone likes just watching spreadsheets and stuff like that. So planning services is really difficult to do because of that. But actually running trains, getting them going, is a lot easier to do. So yeah, train heavy. I'm leaning towards that. Don't worry, I'm not building this line. I just want to see where these southern portals will go, because I think this, a 4 wide thing here, and then bridge over into Doofingwell. So instead of going out onto the coast again and back round, we could just carve straight through the middle. I can try and come up with a project. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I want everyone who watches this, everyone who a few weeks ago, in fact, a couple of months ago now, was telling me that they want the series to stay. I want those people to be more active. I want those people to do more, basically, because I kind of put the message out about, what was this? It must have been like last summer, where I said I don't know how many more streams I had left in this series, because it felt like I was sort of grinding to a halt. So many people replied to that saying, I want the series to stay, I want the series to continue. And then half of those people I haven't seen since, and the other half have been here and have been active. But then there's occasional times where I'm saying, like, now's the time for your input, as good a time as any, and people just don't say anything, and it's really confusing. I think that's the best way of explaining it. It's really confusing. People always talk until I hold the microphone out to them, and then it's almost like stage fright. For the M4J network for the next few weeks. Yeah, I want to do something that will take time. I want to do something that will take, some real planning, some real thought, and something that isn't just we'll build it in a week and then it's done and then we'll move on to something else and we'll almost forget about the previous thing. I want there to be something where for a long time we'll be working on it and then see it through, essentially. So if we start building a new route now, then next week we'll either finish the route, or if we've already finished the route, then we'll start planning services, and then once that's done we'll add the services, and then we'll build a depot and all that kind of thing. I really want something that I can sink my teeth into and just see from start to finish. You alright, Frank? If you're wondering what I'm building here, these are going to be turnback sidings. Like so. Thank you. This is Suam Milau, which was named by George. It's French for middle, mainly because of the station's locale in the middle of everything. This is the new East Coast route that we're building tonight. And I think this is going to be the first of these projects now, because I've said it, so we might as well stick with it. This is going to be the first of these projects where we're going to see it through from start to finish, because I know there's a lot of stuff where it kind of gets built and then it gets forgotten about. So even some of the old stuff that we've built in the past, I want to go back and finish properly. But definitely starting here. So you are going to be Suam North Sidings. Oops, with a capital S. Sparky Marks, welcome to the stream. I really like your junctions. I've been trying to create my own map on an 8K by 8K using the England and Wales height map. I'd like to see that actually. If you join my Discord, the link is in the description down below. If you join the Discord and post some pictures of that, I'd be very intrigued to see how that comes along. I think this is a 4K by 4K, and I won't actually do this because it will crash my PC. But if I did screenshot and did a whole map screenshot, see how big it is. 137,584 by 33,067,264 pixels. That's how big it is. And that changes. Every time I try and take the screenshot, it changes. Which is really weird. It shouldn't do that, but apparently it does. Been using Google Maps to place my stations, towns using the real network maps. I think that's awesome. You know, that's the best example of realism, is to actually do as they have done in real life. You also get to see some of the quirks of the UK network doing that. I totally get what you mean, though. There's a lot of things in this network where I've started it and then partway through I've just stopped and thought, why the hell did I start this? But then you kind of get that drive and you get that desire of you just want to see it finished. And then when you sit back afterwards and look at it, you realise it was worth the time. And it's a really satisfying feeling. And I'm liking this. I like the fact that, you know, my building style, particularly over the last 6 months, I feel like I've hit that real sweet spot now of being able to build things first time and get it right. And a lot of the times, like this station here, for example, you know, Great Slington Junction, it's its own station. It's brand new. It was built today. Technically, it was built last week, but it was built today with the added extension and everything like that. But it's heavily inspired by other stations that I've already built. And that's the big swinger for me, is if you can base it on something that you already know really well, it makes it a lot easier to do. So you can adapt it in many different ways. So like here, for example, the through lines might be in a slightly different location to where they are on the other stations, and the platform arrangement is slightly different. But ultimately, there's like 6 or 7 other stations on the network I can point to and say that the design in principle is very similar. And it speeds up the process. It's probably one of the reasons why building these lines now is so much quicker than it has been in the past. It's because the process is already in place. It's just a matter of copying and pasting it into all the relative areas. And actually, yeah, one more thing I'll do while I remember is I will electrify this route. So I think next week what we'll do is, between now and next week, I will go ahead and redo the freight. And I'll basically tell you what I'm going to do now. Because in the past what we did was we took the train that ran from Morningpool Falls Freight Terminal to Sindwood Industrial Park via Guard City North Freight Terminal, and we split that into 2 services. I think what I'm going to do now is combine it back into one, so that trains run more regularly, the cargo gets moved a lot more regularly, just to make it a little bit more efficient, basically, a little bit better in that respect. But on the flip side to that, some other services might be split up a little bit more. So I'm basically going to rationalize the freight network, because right now, you know, we've got 7 services here, and we could probably do it in 3 or 4. Joseph, welcome back. Good to see you here again. You guys have missed the big build. We did a lot of big construction. So yeah, I'll sort out all the freight. I'll do that off camera, and then next week what we'll do is we'll start planning out some services along this new line. So even services that might reverse and use this line, or even services that might come from Winningpool, which is up here. And actually, yeah, I'm going to rebuild this approach as well while we're here, because this is all going to be one big project now. The Bath City Commuter Belt and the East Coast Mainline. It's all going to be considered one big project, and I'm going to stick with my words. We started this project now, so I am determined that we're going to finish this project now. Oh, I did rebuild this. What am I doing? I'm an idiot as well. I should probably throw that in now as well. Quick disclaimer, I'm an idiot. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's just, I'm having a breakdown. It's all good. So yeah, we'll get trains running on this, because I've still been experimenting with scheduled dispatch, and I've been looking at different options and different ways to implement it, and I'm getting my head around it a lot more now. I know JGR is still working on the whole sending trains to depot thing, the route finding for that, so we'll keep waiting on that. But again, it's not a massive. Now I know that I can just build depots along the line and get trains to go in that way. It's not a massive thing, you know. I don't mind waiting, and I know it's gonna be worth the wait anyway, so it's totally fine. So yeah, this is all gonna be done as one big project now. So the East Coast and the BCB. So yeah, this is a bit of homework for you guys. Oh, I know how we're going to end this stream as well. It's going to be another big build thing to match what we've done here. But a bit of homework for you guys. If you go and download... Alright, hang on, let me think about this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to update the version of the map on my website, m4jmedia.com, for those of you that don't know. So you can go and download the latest version. So I want you to have a look at it, and have a look at the BCB, and have a look at the East Coast main line, and see if you can come up with some ideas for services that might run on the new lines. And they can either be separate or combined. It's up to you guys. We'll basically go with the best of all the suggestions. And yeah, we'll see what we can come up with. I'll have a look myself as well, of course. You know, I wouldn't ask you guys to do it unless I'd have a look myself. Bear in mind that I have got a lot of other stuff going on at the moment, but I will do my best. Because I'm also going to be designing the route map, or the overall network map for the store, plus like 7 or 8 million other things that will probably come up between now and the end of the month. As I said, the demo for Project Cavier releases at the end of this month. That is the plan. So there's a lot of stuff there that needs to be done, which I'm mostly in charge of with the marketing and stuff. So I'll probably be disappearing from time to time to do all of that. But it's all very exciting now. It's all becoming very real, which is always nice to see. But yeah, if people have ideas that they want to suggest, feel free to do so. As I've said many times over the last few weeks, 2019 was the year that we hit the subscriber goal, and 2020 is going to be the year of audience interactivity. So I'm going to be asking for a lot more input from you guys this year, and we're going to, you know, make this as interactive and as immersive as possible. I really want it to be that you guys can just sit back and watch the videos and say, "Hey, I suggested that," because I think that's always a nice feeling. It's always nice to be listened to. That's the thing, isn't it? It's always nice to be listened to and have your voice heard and actually see your ideas become real. Yep, crayons, tracing paper, all that good stuff. Alright, so this is going to be the depot entrance, and as you can see, we've got quite a lot of like lines meshing and mashing together here. I was almost going to destroy all this and rebuild it, but then I thought actually this is a really good location for a depot entrance. I'm kind of glad I stuck with it now, because I think it is a pretty good location for a depot entrance. Let's not put that there. Let's put it here and make it go like that. There we are. So imagine, if you will, there's a signal there, there's a signal there, there's a signal there, and then there's one there. And then here there'll be a set of junctions, and then somewhere, probably here, maybe. So there'll be signal there, 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 and there. And then one there, and one there, and then probably that one there, and that one there. Mainly so that the junction itself can actually start here. Like this. And then you'll go like that and like that. So that one will kind of go like that. This one, I think the signals will go here. It's a really weird shape that I've decided to build here, but I like it. Again, it's asymmetrical and it's quirky. It's got something quite unique to it, which I really like. So then at this point, we'll do this. We also need to get rid of this river, and then we need to completely flatten this land. So I'm actually looking now and thinking, is this a good spot for a depot? Because what we're going to have to do is, I think something like this. And then there'll be a series of tracks here, like that. And then on this side, let's do it like this. I guess like that. And then this one will also like slalom out a little bit like this. And then yeah, these will all connect up. Like so. So it's one big massive junction here, which might not be the most efficient thing. I might have to rebuild this at some point. I think as a test bed, I've done worse. I've built a lot worse in the past. If you do go back and look at some of my old networks, you kind of would agree with me, believe me. Something like that, and then here we can just go like this. And then it'll be something like this. Yeah, quite happy with that. And then we'll have another set of junctions here. Something like so. And then the final sheds will be along here. Like this. So you'll go there, you'll go there. These will all connect up. We might even have like a couple of extra tracks on this side as well, but I don't know yet. And then you'll go there, 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 and there. like that. Like that. Need to build some more crossovers in this direction. That kind of looks good. And then something like that. Try and make as much versatility as possible. That's in the wrong place. There we go. So I don't know what the hell we're going to have here. Maybe the little commuter trains. Little 4-tile long commuter trains that go up into the platform there. This depot will get removed. Some of these lines here will also get rationalised a little bit more. That's like the key word of my week, I think, is rationalised. I used it a lot on Discord the other day when I was talking about transport fever as well. But, you know, it's true to life, so it's always worth including. How is your network doing now, George? There we go. 13 track depot, and this will be Flint Town MPD. Just call it something basic like that. But we'll have some speed control waypoints here. We don't really need any others around here, although saying that, maybe some there as well. So say it comes 20 out here, 30 all the way along here, and then back down to 20 to go in there. Yeah, that should work. We're in a really weird geographical location here, which doesn't help. Let's go check my phone quickly because it's been going mad for the last 5 minutes or so. We're in 1953 and we can see that the partial decline as the motor car starts to get more popular. I'm actually impressed that they've put that in the game, to be honest. I think that's quite a neat feature. So just to really make this look like a weird layout, I might actually redo these two lines here, so that they both go like that. I really like this quirkiness. I think it's a really neat thing that we've got here. I definitely want to design more in this kind of style. And we'll just flood it with trees as well so they're not pissed off with us forever. There we go. Right, so yes, we're pretty much coming to the end of this stream now. But next week we're going to start planning out some services from Gronnwell and also from Winningpool. So I think we've done some services from Winningpool down towards Bar City. But we are going to do some more. And also this freight terminal here that's going to be built in the future. The Northern Freight Terminal. That's going to be finding a home soon. Now that we're deconstructing some of these depots and rebuilding them, I can get a better idea as to how to build the approaches to this. I've got some ideas. So that will come along in the not too distant future. It won't be done next week. It'll be done after that. You can go back 50 years and see how station usage has changed. It's a very good game. That does sound quite intriguing, actually. I still don't know if people will watch it though if I made a series on it. That's the thing that's putting me off right now. I just don't know, because I've tried it in the past with games where I've been really psyched about it and I've uploaded videos and just no one's watched them. So that's definitely put me off that kind of thing. We'll see though. I'm not going to rule anything out at this stage. But yeah, I am going to start wrapping up the stream. So thank you very much, everybody who did come in and watch. I'm still slightly concerned about tonight. I don't know why the viewing numbers dropped significantly. Like the 1K streams, I thought people would be less interested in who just watched the OpenTTD stuff, because it was more like, it was still OpenTTD that week, but it was more generic. Like I was talking more about myself than I was about the network. But since that stream, technical issues haven't helped, but the viewing count has just dropped considerably, and I am genuinely concerned now as to why that is and what we can do about it. But yeah, I don't want to dwell too much on it right now. I think it's one of those things, maybe next week things will change again. But I just want to be honest about it, really. Honest about lots of things, really. And that's one of those things, it's just the viewing numbers. A lot of things right now, it's the viewing numbers. It's concerning and it's frustrating and so many different words for it. So hopefully next week is going to be better. We shall see. But yeah, thanks for those who did come in and chat and watch, and thank you very much for the nice compliments as well about the build. It's always nice to know that I've done something good. If you haven't, I can't build that like I wanted to. I can build it like this though. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Actually, I'm doing this all wrong. Let me start again. Thank you everybody for coming in and watching. It really does mean a lot when people do come in and watch. And thank you to those in the chat as well, to George, to Joseph, to Sparky, and to Frank, and to Tom as well, because he was here for a little bit. I'm thinking of dropping Twitch for next week and just streaming on YouTube again, but we'll see about that. If you haven't already liked the video, be sure to hit the like button. It really does help out the channel, and I really do appreciate it. And besides that, drop some comments down below, like I said. Also, you can do screenshots and stuff on Discord and on Reddit. The homework, like I said, as soon as I've done this, I will save the game and I'll upload the file to the drive so that you'll be able to download it from the website. And yeah, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Again, it really does help out the channel and I appreciate it a lot. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your continued support. And until next time, which will be next week, I will see you soon.